What is up, everyone? This is Karem here with Atlanta Goat Format, bringing to you another replay review from Goat Format War League Season 6 Week 1. This series is Bug Catchers taking on Unknown. This is game number 3 in the series set. We already watched J Park defeat ACO77 in a Warrior CT matchup, and we're coming off of AJT taking the loss to Planchy in a CT mirror. And it looks like we probably again have another CT mirror between Morppadorp, representing the Bug Catchers, and Birdfrog, aka marcuslol, representing Unknown. Let's go ahead and get into this review. So it looks like marcuslol is going to win RPS here with Paper, and he's going to elect to go first. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Let's take a look at these opening hands. So it looks like we have Minecon, Nobleman, Snatch, BLS, Ring, and Faith for Marcus. And Morppadorp is going to start with Shoot, Goblin, Night Ass, Spy, and Tribe. Pretty interesting hand here from Marcus. Probably expecting this Ring to get set, but nothing really else to be played. He's going to go ahead and set the Faith without having a spell in the graveyard. Pretty interesting bait here. Let's see if it pays off. Looks like Morppadorp doesn't really have a way to do anything to this Moth, so he'll fire off the Upstart Goblin to start things off, and we're going to have a Breaker probably come down from Morppadorp's side, and it's going to be met with a Ring of Destruction. And each side is going to take 16 here. And now Morppadorp will follow up with a set Shoot. And that Shoot is going to be held here tactically by Morppadorp. And we have, again, a board where we can't really resolve this Faith for anything, so we'll just follow up with a set Jar and pass. And now Morppadorp is going to find himself into that Nobleman across out, and we will probably see that come down here to clear out the Faith. So those are going to be 2 lights each from each player's deck that's going to get removed from the game. And now Morppadorp's on serve. He could play into a Nobleman here. He hasn't peeked in whether the Nobleman or the Minecon are in Marcus's LOL's hand because he tactically held this Trap Dust Shoot here. And he's going to go ahead and play right into it with a GK Spy hitting the board. Now, he doesn't necessarily care too much about this Spy, considering he's already managed to get a Dark into Grave. But again, holding that Shoot kind of doesn't allow him, he could have summoned this Spy in attack mode, given that he already cleared the Ring and that his opponent has 2 answers to any type of sets that he plays. And he's going to unleash the floodgates on this Trap Dust Shoot here and rip only the BLS, just like he could have the turn prior. And now he is most likely going to face the wrath of one of these, and it's going to be Nobleman first, which is 100% correct. And we're going to have both players banish out 3 copies of GK Spy from their deck. So we've removed Spies, and we've removed Faiths from the game. Morppadorp still has 1 flip in hand, though. And we're going to get the Jar of Greed to fire. Geki Break is going to be found. And this is kind of a really tough position if I am Marcus LOL. The hand doesn't feel good enough to Graceful, and you don't really know what's in your opponent's hand, so you don't know what you're kind of open to. Some type of combination of Ring, Thunder Dragon, and then if he has BLS in his hand, it is going to be game. So there's some type of pressure, but not really any this early that I would be too ultimately worried about. And Morppadorp is going to be on serve here. And Nobleman Crossbow is going to be found on his part. Nothing to knock here. Given that he's seen the Minecon, he's just going to hold and pass as well. Now, Marcus is going to find himself into a Chaos Sorcerer. No Lights and Darks and Graves, so there's nothing really to do. Morppadorp looks like he's going to draw the first part of the puzzle here. He will see Sangan. And knowing that your opponent has already burnt 1 Nobleman across out, and that he has a Mind Control left in the hand, leaves him the ability to bluff this out. Kind of smell out this Mind Control out of the game here. See if Marcus LOL falls for the bait. checking graveyard a few times. There's only an upstart and a nobleman here. Fate's out of the game, Spy's out of the game. So in my mind, given that you don't have any knowledge of what's in his hand, you were either thinking a decoy. You're most likely thinking a Decoichi, or that it's going to be some type of bait. And Duo is going to come in first. No flips for this Knight Ass to recur back if it gets hit. So we're going to rip, it looks like the Nobleman. So we'll have Nobleman get tossed out, and we will have Knight Assailant tossed out as well. This kind of answers Marcus LOL's question as whether this is going to be bait or not. The probability of this being Decoichi is probably, it's 50-50 Decoichi or Sangan for Marcus LOL, and I think in his mind, given what's been taken out of the game. So he's going to elect to hold the Minecon here, which is a pretty good move on his part. And he is going to be rewarded as we're going to flip up the Sangan here and poke in for 1,000. And now Marcus has found himself into pretty good standing with this hold on Graceful Charity finally. Going to be able to resolve it here with the Thunder Dragons in the hand, and he's going to find himself into a pretty nice situation here. He has Thunder Dragon and Thunder Dragon to discard, and he now has Pot of Greed. He's added Knight Assailant and BLS to his hand off of that Graceful, along with this Pot of Greed that's about to come in and find him Breaker and Upstart. He's going to elect to hold the Upstart here, it looks like, and he'll just set the Knight Assailant. Actually, he's going to play the Regeki Break. So he'll set the Knight Assailant, play the Break, discard the Breaker. Interesting. He's going to, I guess, send and target... Okay, he's sending and targeting Knight Assailant and sending Breaker so he can double up for what appears to be game. Pretty interesting way to get it, but nonetheless, the job is done. Way to see that line there. Thought you were just tactically holding the Upstart Goblin, but you needed that 1,000 to not come in. So pretty good game there. Would love to know the reason for holding the shoot and playing into the cards in sand, because you could have had the knowledge there, but I think that was discussed in the discussion channel for a bit there. So I won't dog on more too much. Looks like we got Thunder Dragon coming out, and we have Thunder Dragon, Upstart, Snatch, Nobleman, Faith, Thunder Dragon, and Jar of Greed. And probably gonna fire off this Upstart. Probably set the Jar, set the Spy, and call it a day. Nothing really, no reason to do anything more. And we'll get Marcus LOL up to bat. He has Spy, Mirror Force, Minecon, Sinister, Nobleman, and Minecon. Definitely firing off the Nobleman here. You already have one piece of the puzzle with Spy, so there's not really a reason to use the Minecon, especially this early. Burn that, get it out of the way. Now Morppadorp's going to be out of Spies. And Marcus LOL is going to have one Spy for himself, but that probably won't last very long, considering that Morppadorp has the Nobleman here. He's going to jar into Pot of Greed and find himself into a Suki Knight Ass situation. And we're going to fire off this Nobleman, clear out the last Spy out of the game, and go ahead and set the Faith. No way that he could know what's about to happen to him, as Marcus LOL has found himself into a Mind Control Gold Rush. And he's going to flip this over, grab the Nobleman across out, so he has Knock and Minecon. And he'll go ahead and set the Serpent. Fortunate for Marcus here, he is going to play into this Suki reset with the Faith, so there's not really anything he could do to play around it. So now we're going to find ourselves into another Nobleman across out into our hand, banish out the Serpent, and do 1,400 damage from Morppadorp's side. I'm going to go ahead and pro-set the Snatch deal here. I guess want to give some type of illusion of protection for this Magician of Fate. And Marcus is going to find himself into a Nobleman across out. I mean a Knight Assailant, I'm sorry. And Tribe Infecting Virus is going to come down. Play into the Suki, obviously. It's a little bit of a desperation, but you got to get this Faith out of here, so it's 100% the right play. And you're going to have Mirror Force get set to protect against the Suki. in hopes that this isn't some type of break situation. Given that he was protecting the faith with this kind of just tells him that since you didn't stop the virus, that you know, either you have another Magician of Faith in hand later down the line, or this is nothing and you're just bluffing and just extended a card for no reason, it seems. But Suki's going to come in and clear out this tribe. At least that's what Morppadorp thinks. Let's see if the Mirror Force gets flipped up here. That would put a Dark in the grave. And I guess Marcus is taking a moment to think about that, and it is Mirror Force. However, if a Chaos Monster does come down, you do have the Mind Control, so like it's going to feel pretty bad on Morppadorp's side if he's going to come out and banish this. And he's going to elect to hold. And that hold is going to come back and punish him, it seems, as Delinquent Duo has now found Marcus's hand. We go ahead and attack with Tribe and deal 16. And then we are going to set Night Assailant. We're going to tactically set the Delinquent Duo. Pretty interesting here. We don't know what each other has in each other's hands here. So this is pretty interesting to see a tactical Snatch and a tactical Delinquent Duo backing a Night Assailant and a Tribe. But we'll see how this comes out. Yeah, interesting. You do know he has double Thunder Dragon, so I guess Duo is not the best card in this situation. We're going to have that Snatch deal flip up and target the Tribe, and it's going to attack into the Night Ass. That's going to clear out the Tribe and the Snatch. And we will have a set MST and a set Night Assailant. And now that Nobleman that we were talking about from before is going to come into play. And we play right into that. Now Marcus has another Night Assailant, but he's going to elect to hold. And MST will clear out the Duo. And Dokoichi will come down. Minecon will play. Dokoichi into an upstart. Into a double shoot situation. So this could really this kind of slow roll from Marcus here, to not kind of do anything that he doesn't have to, is going to allow him to fire off a double shoot possibly here, as we're going to rip the BLS out of hand. We're just going to elect to fire one off for now and allow the illusion to continue, and we'll have a double deco situation on Morppadorp's side. Draw into the Kaiku. Kaiku is going to allow us to rip the graveyard out into pieces, taking out the TD and the Faith, and he's going to find a break. Going to continue to hold this shoot for as long as we possibly can. Sangan and Dokoichi now set on the field. And we're going to find the Kaiku into attacking the Dokoichi, sorry. And now that is going to get targeted by the Regeki break. Don't know if you have to protect that there, but I guess getting rid of the Kaiku and being able to attack for 24 plus a draw is pretty good. Now we're going to have the break set on Marcus's side, and now we're going to have a Delinquent Duo in Morppadorp's hand, and we're going to rip one of the TDs back. Kind of awkward situation since he doesn't add the Serpent back, and you know, 2 of the 4 is TD, so it just doesn't probably mean the most sense here. It's definitely not the best shoot that it could have been. And now we're going to take 24, we're going to sack Sangan for the Thunder and grab ourselves a Faith. So that's another thing too, is like, with knowing that it's a double TD situation, and that he probably would sack the Sangan at some point, you probably do want to take the card that gets sacked out. Wow, one game where Duo is getting set in the back row. And another Snatch Steal set into the back row. These two duelists are very pro. Setting spells face down, and we're going to get 3,000 here. No way to protect outside of unleashing this final line of protection with this break. duo is now going to come in, and it's going to find the other Knight Assailant that's just going to recur the Knight Assailant. So paying 1,000 for nothing there. Jar and Faith are going to get set, and probably going to have to fire off this break in a second. TD over the Dakoichi, break into the Faith, and we will set, pass. Now, Morp is going to draw into a Chaos Sork here, and another Chaos Sork. The game is telling him to summon it. See what he's able to do. He will. And he's going to summon the second one. And it looks like we're going to try and go for game here. So that's going to do 700, take him down to 100. And we're going to have to flip up, and we're going to have to target the Serpent. And now marcuslol is against the wall. Pot of Greed and Sorcerer in hand. Pot of Greed is going to find him into a Thunder Dragon and a Heavy Storm. And we will go Thunder Dragon into Thunder Dragon, and we will summon this Chaos Sorcerer. Presumably banishing one of them, and then probably setting this Faith and passing back. Instead elects to sack with the Thunder Dragon, I guess in hopes that there's not anything there, and Morppadorp is going to draw into the Nobleman. That'll close out this game. Alright, one apiece between these two duelists. The series is also one apiece. Let's see who can push the envelope for their team. marcuslol is going to start with an upstart into an MST, Minecon, Dakoichi, Mirror, Knight Assailant, and a Tribe Infecting Virus. And if I am him, I'm probably just setting this Dakoichi and maybe an MST. It might be a little early for that, but definitely just committing the Dakoichi here and the MST. Perfectly fine. We're going to have an opening hand for Morppadorp of Sinister, T-Drag, Breaker, Sork, MST, and Deco. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this T-Drag. Pretty good start. A lot of monsters, though. It looks like we're going to get a bluff from Morppadorp. Hoping to pull out one of those Minecons that we've seen used all match. Setting the Serpent here. Deco is going to find its way. Marcus is going to find a Snatch. Marcus is going to decide to attack here, not fall for the bait, clear the Serpent. And Morppadorp is going to get rewarded with Pot of Greed on turn draw. He's going to hold the pot here and go ahead and clear out this back row with a Breaker. It's an MST. And elect to attack over the Deco. Main phase 2. Set MST, holding Pot of Greed. I'll have to wait for TK's analysis on that one. But Marcus will find himself into a Graceful Charity here, which will find him into a T-Drag. He already has a Knight Assailant, which makes this one step closer to being free. The Knight Assailant is off, Heavy Storm is off, and we're going to add back the Deco. T-Drag will release, and we will set our own Deco, shoot, Mirror Force, and pass. MST will find the Force, though, and we have 2 Decos in hand here for Morppadorp, and that Serpent will get ripped out by the shoot. Pot of Greed will get fired, I guess after your opponent knows that you have it, and you'll find Sork and Faith. Breaker will come in over the Deco, and Morppadorp is going to elect to set the Dakoichi here, knowing that his opponent knows that he has... actually, he doesn't know he has a Faith because he draws that off of Pot. Knowing that his opponent has the Minecon, I guess Deco is the least of his worries, especially since you don't have the Serpent anymore. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this Minecon and plus off of the Deco. We're going to grab the Kaiku to disrupt the Chaos Mon that are in his hand. And we will set Break, set Ring, protect the Kaiku. Unfortunately for Marcus here. Morppadorp is going to top deck into a Heavy Storm. But we're going to hold. We're going to set the Decoy Chi and play this cool as a cucumber here on Morppadorp's side. And we're going to find ourselves into BLS. It's a precarious situation if I am the Morpster. We're going to have Break come in and clear the set, and it is a Decoy Chi. We're going to have the BLS fly in, Snatch Steal in, Tribe down, and that will be it. Ring is on field. Interesting. Okay, so he top decked Heavy Storm, Break, and he set Deco that turn with the Breaker in the field. So you don't have to set Deco right away. You could just Heavy Storm clear both. I mean, they're presumed to be real, right? You cleared Mirror Force. I mean, I guess they could be jars. I don't know. Like, I mean, he did have the nuts, and you didn't really have any knowledge of that. But, I don't know. Like, a 2-for-1 there, in this point in the game state, especially with what you have, if he does summon something, like, you're just going to use it next turn anyways. I don't know. But this is going to totally cost Morppadorp the game, I think, as we're going to take a ton of damage. And that'll be it. 2-1 victory for Marcus LOL. A 2-1 current lead for Unknown over the Bug Catchers. Let's see if the Bug Catchers can bounce on back in the next game in the replay review coming out tomorrow.